Welcome back, Wolfpack. Verlis here to some more Fan Fridays. This time we have a full pledge team, and I'm loving the elemental representation. Like most time whenever we see pledge, it's like, oh, we got fire pledge, and then we go water pledge, and that means rainbow. So serene grace effect. But this actually looks like a pretty crazy and well thought out strategy because we have the Aurora Veil, keeping everyone safe, going for the pledge effects. That makes things pretty interesting. Now, I do know I'm uploading this on Thursday because I told everyone I was going to be playing some Mario Odyssey. That comes out on Friday, so we just got to move Fan Fridays up sooner. And even the description of the first Fan Fridays of the week, I said upload on Thursday for Mario Odyssey. So I don't understand why these people are complaining in the comment section about it being uploaded on Thursday. Either way, let's go and see how this breaks down. The opponent actually has a Star-type Pokemon for himself, Empoleon Magmortar. That's some 4th gen love right there. That's some cool 4th gen right there, I will say. Ninetales brings the Hail, going to get that Aurora Veil going. We're going to see what the Delphox does and how the rest of this could work out. Because, yeah, like, I'm wondering, like, when this goes wrong, when this goes right, how the setup goes. Delphox comes in with that Substitute, and honestly, that's pretty solid. Because, yeah, if the opponent goes for a hit behind that Aurora Veil, you know, there's a chance it might not break the sub. Flash Cannon absolutely wrecks Ninetales, even with the Aurora Veil, though. And if the opponent goes for status like that, then Delphox has a substitute still. So, I mean, that seems like the perfect first turn. So, trying to figure out what happens if Ninetales doesn't get KO'd. But 4x super effective makes us not worry about that for too much longer. And that's going to be Delphox Venusaur. Fancy. So, we're going to be going for that Fire Pledge. That's going to be Empoleon being withdrawn going into the Magna Zone. Yeah, it looks like he doesn't want to eat some kind of crazy grass-type move from the Venusaur. And it will be a Mega Venusaur as well. So we have a Sub-Delphox, Mega Venusaur, so much bulk with that Aurora Veil up. I mean, even Primarina is going to be pretty bulky as well. Delphox, Fire Pledge, waits into the Grass Pledge, and that's going to be the combined move right there. And that is going to absolutely wreck the Magna Zone. So yeah, Pledges are crazy because the ally will move it, or the ally will use the second move for combined attack, and then it actually does fire damage. So it uses the first move, does that. So I mean, the switch into Magna Zone just did not work out for the opponent at all because of that pledge mechanics. And then it doesn't get stabbed because it's used by the Venusaur, I guess, but it has a 150 base power, so it's just a lot of hate. It's just a lot of hate. And then it creates a Firestorm that does 1/8 of the opponent's hit points at the end of every turn if they're not a Fire-type Pokemon. So it's like poison for free on top of just high amounts of damage. So yeah, going to go for that combined move once again. Empoleon getting hit for a lot of damage, not enough to KO, but we go Hail. Like, also the Hail just kind of adds on to it. Like, Hail does chip away the Delphox and the Venusaur a bit, but I mean, they're taking 3/16 at the end of the turn. And it looks like the opponent is just in a really bad situation right now. Went for the Water Z move. Unfortunately, that's not going to really do much, because the substitute wasn't broken. Aurora Veil plus the resisted hit from Magmortar, too strong. Hydro Vortex comes through, and that's going to be hitting the sub, so Delphox should be just fine. It's funny watching the substitute get bounced around like that. So yeah, Z moves working against Protect and not against the substitute. That's going to be fading finally, but I mean, Delphox has already done more than enough. And then Magmortar is going to be buffeted by the Hail. Doesn't have to worry about the 1/8 from the Fire. But yeah, like, I wanted to see if Empoleon goes down from this. That would be pretty interesting. So Empoleon gets tagged by the Hail. Oh, it's going to be close. That's going to be the Fire. Empoleon losing 1/8 of its health and barely hanging on by like 1 or 2 hit points. Delphox, though, goes for the Fire Pledge. And yeah, just straight Fire Pledge damage on the Empoleon, which means we're going to be seeing a hit from the Venusaur onto the Magmortar. So Magmortar comes in with that Psychic. There we go. That's how you hurt a Venusaur. Unfortunately, just way too tanky. Because yeah, because of the thick fat, you can't use the Flamethrower. Just doesn't do much. So gets the poison as well. And Magmortar actually has a Citrus Berry. So this is like the Magmortar is trying to be tanky. I wanted to say as well, but I know it's like my verbal tick or something. So yeah, Magmortar's trying to do some tankiness. Will lose quite a bit of health with the poison and the Hail. Venusaur gets chipped away. Like, the Hail kind of sucks initially, but I mean, as long as you have that Veil up, we're just watching Psychic. We're watching super effective hits do nothing. And then the opponent brings in the Cherrim. Well, Cherrim's just going to have a pretty bad day. Delphox comes in, wrecks it. Venusaur comes in, wrecks it, and the opponent decides to forfeit instead. I thought that was pretty fancy. Like, yeah, you do the Fire Pledge, not going to be a resisted hit, and then shenanigans, GG, Magna Zone just got destroyed. So let's go into some more battles and see how the pledges work out. Now you might notice the trainer name is different. That's because I got another submission for pledges this week. So we're going to check out what Nate's strategy is. It's obviously different from the start, so that's going to make it a bit more interesting to watch out. Yeah, like sometimes that just happens for Fan Fridays. I see like multiple submissions for relatively the same strategy. Sometimes I choose one, sometimes I show multiple. We're going to see what happens with this one. So Tyrantrum Ninetales for the opponent. Ninetales wants to get the Aurora Veil instead this time. Charizard Samurott is also going to be a breakdown, and then we're going to see, yeah, we just see what happens, because Charizard Samurott, this is what I was talking about. When you get the rainbow, you start going for those added effects. That's the most common one that we see, but also the swamp is pretty powerful as well. It quarters the speed of the opponent, so that means you have like a lot more outspeed potential. And then we're going to see Ninetales with that Aurora Veil. So that's like one good thing for the setup. And interestingly enough, we have Charizard X. So Fire Pledge from the Charizard X going into Samurott with that Water Pledge. 2 moves become 1. And then that is going to be some big damage onto Tyrantrum. Gets the Rainbow. And then Tyrantrum's going to use Head Smash onto the Charizard X. Charizard X gets that defensive bulk, but it will not be enough. However, I think we can see where this one's going, because now we got Togekiss. And Togekiss, does that become 100% chance to flinch, like 120 or 60 and 60%? It becomes a very, very high amount of flinch, but Scolipede comes in instead. So what is Scolipede going to bring to this pledge? Rock Slide. Dang. So double 60% right there. Ninetales takes a good hit. Tyrantrum surviving as well. Double flinch though. Samurott with that Ice Beam. And yeah, like the opponent's Ninetales is putting in work. Like Ninetales Tyrantrum looks pretty devastating. Did get a KO. But unfortunately that KO was in exchange for some setup. Like normally that'd be devastating. But like I said, we just got the double flinch. So now instead of being able to find another KO onto the Samurott or another KO onto the Scolipede, was able to make it work. But that Aurora Veil could have been scary if it wasn't for this setup that we have. So now it's going to be Sand Slash Ninetales. Scolipede with that Rock Slide. So it's going to do some solid damage once again. Ninetales will barely survive. We have Sand Slash taking a little bit of damage, but not a lot. And that's a double flinch again, though. So yeah, how do you stop that? How do you stop the rainbow? You know, just taste the rainbow, double flinch, speed boost on the Scolipede, and if anything else goes down, we have Togekiss coming in with some huge damage. How long does the rainbow last? It's like 3, 4, 5 turns. Let me go and look that up on Bulbapedia really quick. Doubles probability, 4 turns. All right, yeah, so I think all the pledges last for about 4 turns because we have Swamp, Fire, and then Rainbow. So it's not like 5 turns, but it does last for a little bit of time, and you're also getting damage across. So Ninetales will avoid Sand Slash, has the miss, and then that's going to be the Water Pledge onto Sand Slash as well. Sand Slash going down, should have been a double KO, and then that's just kind of the strats that we're in. Or actually, was that Protect? I was like reading, so I guess Ninetales protected. And the Rainbow disappears, but I mean, that's still scary. You have Scolipede going for flinches, still 30%. Togekiss comes in at some point. Togekiss, if it's Scarfed, crazy. If not, still high amounts of damage. Then Togekiss adds another 60% on top of that 30%. So, I mean, do we even need Togekiss? Looks like Scolipede is just cleaning up right now. Ninetales Rock Slide. Lurantis takes a little bit of damage. We can see the Samurott with the Ice Beam. That's going to be a super effective hit as well. Hail, adding little bits of damage. So, yeah, this team doesn't have, like, the highest amounts of damage, but, I mean, you get the bulk to get the setup, and then you just lock your opponent out for the rest of the game. And it looks like Lurantis with that Z move, it wants things dead right now. So that's going to be the full Sub-Zero Slammer. Hidden Power Ice? What? That's fancy. I'm guessing it makes sense. Because if we have Contrary Leaf Storm into the Hidden Power Ice, that's good. Also, I guess it's not the team's fault it wasn't doing a lot of damage, because there was the Aurora Veil up that does cut by 33%. So, Rock Slide comes in, going to still tag good damage, and now that we have the single target, it's going to be much more. Samurott with the Air Slash. I knew Samurott had the Air Slash. That's like one of the quirky little moves that Samurott gets, but you can Air Slash 60%, 60%, 60%, 120%. Like, it's ridiculous what we do. I know it's not straight 120% because of math, but yeah, I like that strategy as well. So we got to show off the Nate pledges, we got to show off the other pledges. Let's go back and see how that Ninetales is doing. All right, this time mixing it up. Maybe we are going to see a little bit of that swamp coming through. no Ninetales lead, but it is still going to be the Primarina Delphox. I mean, a lot of people are probably happy to see Primarina Delphox in the same battle, let alone as a lead in doubles. That's pretty cool. That's gonna be some fun action. The opponent goes into Jolteon though. How's the Primarina going to fare against also, yeah, it's not Delphox lead, my bad. It's the Venusaur lead. But either way, we still have Delphox and Primarina in the same battle, so that's kind of awesome. How's Primarina going to do against Jolteon is the question. And then Absol's there. But what is Absol going to do? Like, Mega Absol and the Magic Bounce, that could always catch anyone off guard at any time. Mega Absol has some pretty good utility. So, opposing Jolteon going to go for that Thundershock. Or not Thundershock, Thunderbolt. Primarina survives it, though. Super crazy amounts of special defense. Psycho Cut onto Venusaur. Super crazy amounts of defense as well. So, I mean, it's just tanky enough to where it works. And then Primarina going to Water Pledge, into the Grass Pledge, into high damage. And Jolteon taking a huge hit right there. And then Swamp envelops the opposing team. So, yeah, actually, does the Pledge take, like, what damage does the Pledge do? Moving second move will be combined with the attack for 150 power. I guess it does the stab damage then, because, like, that's still a huge hit. Still a huge hit from the Jolteon. So now we're bringing in the Hail, going into Dazzling Gleam. That's going to be enough to KO the Absol and finish off the Jolteon. So Primarina coming in and just wrecking, my goodness. So it's going to be Hail, and then we get the Aurora Veil, I guess, and then we just have a little bit more Hail chipping. Gigalith comes in. I mean, Gigalith is going to get completely decimated by this Primarina. And then Comfey comes in. Oh, the opponent had full shinies. Cool. Just cool. I know the Absol wasn't shiny, but still, that's a lot of shinies. Sandstream will overwrite that, so maybe not on the Aurora Veil. We're going to switch out the Ninetales, try to reset that field condition back into the Venusaur. And I guess that's just how you deal with it, because, yeah, Water Pledge, that's going to be a huge hit onto the Gigalith. Not going to be enough to KO. Comfey has the Calm Mind. I guess you also bring in the Venusaur because you don't want to get Leech Seeded. Don't want to have to worry about any of that. So Venusaur also has Sludge Bomb and does a lot of really devastating things to the Comfey. So Gigalith has Rock Slide. It's going to do some damage. Primarina should go down off of that one. And then Mega Venusaur is just so tanky. So ridiculously tanky. And we see some other things happen. Boom. Comfey, Venusaur, Shenanigans. Ninetales comes in. So that's going to be the Hail. Hail going to make life pretty hard for the Gigalith. I don't even think you need to worry about the Aurora Veil. You just try to get as much damage on the Comfey as possible before it starts turning some hate back. So Ninetales still sets up the Aurora Veil, just in case. And then that's going to be Sludge Bomb from the Venusaur. Boom. Comfey tanks it because of those Calm Minds. Another Calm Mind from Comfey. Comfey, this is going to be interesting because, yeah, now I can use that Draining Kiss. Hit the Ninetales for big damage. Heal up enough, maybe out-tank on the Venusaur. And Gigalith comes in with that Rock Slide. Ninetales will avoid the Rock Slide, though. I don't think it would have KO'd. Venusaur takes... Is that a crit? It's got to be a crit. Hits through everything, and then... Yo! The Hail finishing off Venusaur right there after the crit. Bit unfortunate. Comfey's taking that Hail damage, and then we should see Gigalith go down to the Hail as well. So yeah, Gigalith's down, and it's a 2v1. Comfey's in, like, a decent fighting position. Could have a chance to bring it back. But that's Delphox, and Delphox can hit hard. So what's going to happen? Comfey with the Draining Kiss. Draining Kiss. That's going to target the Ninetales. Wasn't enough Calm Mind, and does the Aurora Veil prevent a lot of damage? Actually, wow, with that crit, yeah. Comfey would have done nothing without that crit. Ninetales has Blizzard, single target, Hail, big damage. So Comfey survives. It gets frozen, though. And then Delphox has Psychic. Comfey survives. Yeah, that Comfey had enough to tank. The freeze, though, going to be unfortunate for the Comfey. And it looks like this battle is going to wrap up anyways. So that's Hail. One hit should do it. Comfey stays frozen. And that is going to be the GG. Alright, so then Comfey faints. That's going to be battle. So yeah, let me take a couple seconds to understand how pledges work fully. See, now this is where things get weird, because as you watch the battle, the second, or the Pokemon that attacks second uses the animation for the first move. But when you look at it like this, look, Pignite uses Fire Pledge, and then it's waiting for Duat to use the move. Then Duat uses Water Pledge, and the animation in the 5th generation shows to be Water Pledge. So I'm guessing it actually takes the last move, and technically it's using the move immediately after it. So I guess the animations are just kind of swapped in the 7th generation or something like that. But yeah, instead the ally moving second will use a combined attack with a power of 150 and an additional effect immediately after it. So that's also another thing, like the immediately after. So when you have a faster Pokemon using it, then that means a Pokemon that's not as fast is just going to follow it up immediately. So it kind of has like the oh man, I'm totally spacing on what move that is right now. Is it the? Wow, give me. Oh my goodness, I don't want to drop it at the end of the video like this. Round, it's round. So yeah, round works immediately after. There's some pretty interesting combos you can make right there. But yeah, the pledge moves are kind of weird like that. I guess it counts as that. I guess the animation would just throw me off of what we saw from the game. So there we go, guys. Pledges, pretty good, working just well in 7th generation. You can combo it with just enough bulk to get those effects, and those effects really help out and give you a bit more advantage when the opponent could have been going for setup and you're still putting down some damage. So you guys, enjoy the battle, and I'll see you in the next Fan Fridays.